Welcome everyone to the finale of the Cup That Matters. Today we review the 2015 World Cup with our 2015 World Cup guests, former India player Nikhil Chopra and former two-time World Cup champion Andrew Symonds in the studio with us for the final time, wearing matching green pants. I wonder what the significance is of that. But Andrew rightly today is wearing a yellow shirt,
well,
if not a jersey.
Green and gold on today.
Green and gold tonight. We'll talk about the World Cup with these two gentlemen and also get you Saurav and Nasir's top 3 picks from the World Cup. But before that, jubilation and heartbreak. Every World Cup encapsulates many shades of sports, many highs and lows. Overall, action that keeps you wrapped up for nearly 2 months. Let's take a look at the moments that grabbed the most headlines.
Want to hug you. Oh, there you are, down. Stunning, simply stunning. Goes down to the wire. Some magnificent play from both sides. Bottom this time.
7 weeks of enthralling action and a lot of memories really that will stick with us at least till the next World Cup. Andrew, first to you, what were the moments that brought you most joy and the most satisfying moments from the World Cup?
Oh, wow. I'll have to try and go backwards, I think. I think the way that Australia played in the finals was, they just timed their run very well and anything that they hadn't quite ticked off, they just sort of fixed up and they made sure that they were just peaking at the right time. Because when they played those last 2 games, everyone was really on. The people that hadn't really fired, especially with the ball, Mitchell Johnson came good towards the end, and the bowling was just spot on. It was hard, it was fast, and they were swinging the ball. So probably the way that Australia played in the finals, and they were just so ruthless, and no one really came close to them in the end. They got their heads in front, noses in front, and that's where they stayed. And they were just too good at the back end of the World Cup for anyone to go with them.
Nikhil, if you had to pick one spell, one wicket, one innings, maybe out of the ones that we showcased just now, what would be the highlight for you?
Well, I guess the way Shikhar Dhawan got his 200s, that was special. How Ashwin came out and bowled in the middle overs, picking up wickets. But the important thing for me was how the fast bowlers, Shivani, Indian fast bowlers, bowled from the start of the World Cup campaign. They got over the hangover of the Australian summer, whatever's happened in the Test series, the one days, how they came back, looking to pick up wickets, different lines, different lengths, and they bowled well. The whole unit played pretty good. And, they all were combined in terms of their efforts towards contributing towards the side. Otherwise, if you saw the Australian summer, they're all very sporadic performances. Somebody got runs, somebody got wickets. It wasn't a collective unit together. But come the World Cup, I think things changed. And on the day of the semi-final, we just got beat by a better team.
Let's take a look at what Saurav Ganguly and Nasir Hussain, who were also part of our World Cup panel, picked as their top 3 moments this World Cup.
Bangladesh beating England. I mean, Bangladesh, they're not good memories, all of these, but
Bangladesh finally delivering. You know, the years and the money and the effort that's been put in and the fan base in Bangladesh to beat a powerhouse like England and go through, I think was great for their cricket. New Zealand's bowling attack in New Zealand, the way looking up in a one-day game and seeing 5 slips on flat pitches. We're not talking about minefields, we're not talking about Lords in April, we're talking flat pitches, and you got 5 slips in there. Some of the fielding on the boundary has been absolutely exceptional. Rohit's 100 at the MCG. I love Rohit Sharma, I love the way he bats. To see him get that 100, such pure class.
I would probably start with New Zealand. I think they've been a revelation for me. I thought they would play well, but I didn't expect that they would play so well. That's the first one. Bangladesh, as Nasir said, a much better side. England 3. It's sad to see England go that way out of the World Cup, because I think they're a lot more talented side than they perform in one-day cricket. I keep telling Nas the same thing.
The Minnows did really well in this World Cup, isn't it? So much talk about the format and, you know, so many Minnows getting a chance to play. But Bangladesh, Afghanistan opening their World Cup account as well. Ireland beating West Indies as well. It was a pretty good World Cup for the Minnows.
Yeah, I suppose it's good signs for world cricket if they're improving, putting pressure on the bigger sides and beating them. We sort of talked about at the start of the World Cup. We said that at some point one of the Minnows will knock off one of the big sides, and it happened twice. So, yeah, good signs for world cricket.
And not good signs for English cricket.
Well, not at all. They need to get their act together. You know, you've got a lot of legacy, you've got a lot of history in the game as well. You need to pull up your socks. Whatever problems, whatever politics you have in your cricket board, it cannot come onto that field of play, Shivani. This is the World Cup. Teams prepare 2 years, maybe 3 years in advance. You need to get your act together.
And of course, Andrew's team is already smacking its lips with England coming over for the Ashes. One wonders what's going to be the scoreline for that one. But after the completion of the 2015 Cricket World Cup, the ICC did announce its team of the tournament. Surprisingly, no Indians featured in the list of 12 players. The team was chosen by a group of experts who were given the chance of picking a balanced side on the basis of the performances in the tournament. The panel picked up Kiwi skipper Brendan McCullum as the captain of the side. Other than him, the team included 4 other Kiwis: Corey Anderson, Trent Bolt, double centurion Martin Guptill and veteran Daniel Vittori. 3 players from the World Cup winning side Australia: Glenn Maxwell, Stephen Smith and player of the tournament Mitchell Starc. AB de Villiers and Morne Morkel from South Africa made it to the cut, and Sri Lanka's Kumar Sangakkara was picked as the wicketkeeper batsman. Zimbabwe's Brendan Taylor, who obviously played his last ODI match in this World Cup, finished with 433 runs in just 6 matches, was named as the 12th man. Andrew, happy with the ICC's team? We're of course going to showcase Andrew and Nikhil's teams as well. But Brendan McCullum as the captain?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think that's a good decision. Wondering whether Riaz would get a run in there somewhere, and possibly. Oh no, that's
no Indians in the list. Andrew, are you surprised with that?
I wonder whether Shaker Davin should have maybe got an opening spot.
Yeah.
You know, McCullum played well, but you know, Guptill, he got 200. It's tricky, isn't it? There's so many good players to squeeze in to just 11 spots, but...
Who was the best captain for you, Nikhil, in this World Cup?
Well,
I mean, Dhoni got his 11th consecutive wins in World Cup, overtook Clive Lloyd's record as well. But would you pick between Michael Clarke and Brendan McCullum?
Between the two, yeah, because of course, you know, nothing like Michael Clarke, you know, getting his hands on the coveted trophy. I thought Michael Clarke led the side pretty well. Coming out injury, how the way he handled the side as well. McCullum, had he planned better, you know, took the game a little deeper, things could have different. I thought he was just too aggressive. Maybe trying to lead from the front, attacking the best bowler on the side. I would have gone with Michael Clarke.
Well, of course, the 2 best bowlers of the World Cup featured in this, Trent Bolt and Mitchell Starc. But I'm wondering if Morne Morkel, you know, could have been replaced, as Andrew said, with Wahab Riaz, or maybe even Mohammad Shami. I mean, he bowled pretty well.
Or maybe Mitchell Johnson, because he could come down and bat lower down the order as well, and he's done pretty well as well.
Why don't we take a look at Nikhil's World Cup 11? Nikhil, if you want to take us through your team.
Well, of course, we've got the captain there, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Shikhar Dhawan, because he's done well. Shivani as a left-handed opener, surprised everybody. McCullum, because left and right combination as well. He can, on his day, take any bowling side apart. And then in the middle order, A.B. de Villiers, Smith, who's been so consistent during the Australian summer as well. Watson is my go-to man if I need another, bowling all-rounder or a batting all-rounder. Faulkner, Maxwell,
Bowling all-rounder.
Absolutely. Come the 30th over, this man goes in. Ashwin, because I get a little variety in my bowling as well. And Johnson and Stark.
No Trent Bolt for you.
Well, no, I would keep Johnson in the side because he could go low down the order, if needed, go and use the long handle as well. And Stark, of course, these two together make a very lethal pair.
How about Andrew now? Why don't you take us through your World Cup 11?
Okay. Well, I picked David Warner. He didn't have a terrific World Cup, but I just like the way he plays. And I think, again, left and right hand opening combination with McCullum. I've got Mahendra Singh Dhoni as my captain. I've got Kohli, de Villiers and Sangakkara, not necessarily in that order. On the day, I might change that around a bit, but they're my middle order players. Then I've got Faulkner as my bowling all-rounder and finisher with Dhoni, and then I've got Ashwin to bowl the spin, and we've got Stark, Malinga, and Morkel.
Malinga.
I probably made a mistake there. I probably should have put Riaz in there.
Yeah.
I might swap him for Riaz, but he's a very experienced campaigner.
But the good thing is that at least both of you have included a couple of Indians in your squad. MS Dhoni seems to be a very consistent choice as the captain. He leads his team very well, and a good turnaround for him in this World Cup. But you didn't include your favourite player, Rohit Sharma, in the squad, Andrew.
I think young Rohit in the next World Cup will be at the heights of his power. So he may well feature in my...
All right, watch out, Aussies, for the next World Cup. Here we come. They might have taken the title from us this time around, but let's see if India can manage to halt the Aussies and not let them run away with another period of dominance in the World Cup. For the Australian team in Melbourne to celebrate the victory, and the team was amongst its fans and thanked its fans who had turned out in large numbers to cheer their heroes at Federation Square in Melbourne. The event was organised, of course, by Cricket Australia to thank the fans that came out in huge numbers throughout the World Cup to support the team. After the event, Michael Clarke and his men spoke to the media as well. The Australian skipper appreciated the support of fans and called it a special moment in his career. Of course, Clarke bidding adieu to ODI cricket and passing on the baton to Stephen Smith from here on.
We're extremely proud. I think the fact that there was a lot of expectation and added pressure put on us at the start of the tournament, being a home World Cup, was something that we embraced. We hope we've done the Australian fans proud, and like I say, all we can do is thank everyone for their support throughout the whole tournament.
I've been very lucky to be involved in an Ashes winning series last summer, but this absolutely is as special as it gets. In one day, for us to be able to play the way we did in a final in front of 93,000 people, it's incredible.
I'm extremely lucky to have had the opportunities I've had to play cricket for Australia. So whatever the result yesterday, in my opinion, it was the right time to go. I don't believe in fairy tales, but it's probably as close as I'm going to get. Win the World Cup in front of our home fans is extremely special. So yeah, look, I'm over the moon. I'm a little bit hungover, but I'm over the moon.
Look, 1 million people have turned out from both countries, Australia and New Zealand, to come and watch. We can't thank the supporters enough for coming out and supporting us. We've worked hard to get here today, and now we're giving back to Australia. We're world champions. Yes, as a child growing up, I never thought I'd play in a World Cup in general, but to play in a World Cup final and be 1 from 1, I'm just grateful for this opportunity.
And as we close our final World Cup show, we bid Andrew Symonds a warm goodbye. Here's a look at what he got up to while in India during the World Cup.
My favorite cricket player in the Indian cricket team, sir, is Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma is a very much close friend of mine, sir. And I am staying in contact with Rohit and wishing him and his teammates very much well of luck against Australia tomorrow, sir.
And it looks like you had a good time.
I did. That one there might have snuck out of the someone's phone there. I don't know who took that one, Shivani, but yeah, I've had a very good time. Indian people have always been very friendly and towards me, and I've been given a huge amount of gifts and all that sort of thing. And Nikhil's looked after me excellent.
He's the one who took you to the shooting range, isn't he?
He's been dressing me, shooting with me. The only thing we didn't get to do was play golf, but maybe next time we'll.
Yeah, that's a shame because Nikhil's obviously a pretty good golfer. But as we do close the show, how about that Hyderabadi accent of yours once again? Close the show with up for us in your accent.
Well, India, thank you very, very much for taking me into your heart for this World Cup. Thank you and good evening.
Good evening, everyone. That's all we have. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.